relatively soon. Gen Z men are very radical. Don't you get it? Don't you get it? None of us can buy homes. Or few of us can buy homes. Few of us can even find a job with our college degree that cost anywhere from $30,000 to $100,000, depending on which one you went to. Sometimes more. You can't. The dating pool is really, really bad because the women have whored themselves out on the internet. And so where's the life? Where's the American dream that we were promised, huh? Where's the American dream? We've all been infected with microplastics. I would imagine if we don't try to have kids relatively soon when we're young, it's going to be very hard to start families because of all the chemicals that they put in our food. And they don't tell us about it. That's the thing. And then on top of that, you have all the boomers and the Gen Xers that are saying, oh, this generation is lazy. This generation doesn't want to work hard. And I'm so sorry that I didn't buy my house with a paperclip and a couple pennies duct taped together. It just doesn't make sense. And you hear the boomers talk about, oh, when I was in college, I worked at a grocery store. I worked for $2 an hour. And I put myself through college. And you're saying, I wonder what that would be like. And then they turn around. Yeah, I worked at a grocery store for $2 an hour part-time in college, and I worked myself through college, and I paid it off immediately, and then I bought a house, and I bought a house for $5, and I was able to have 10 kids and $5. It was great. And you think, what was it like to live life on easy mode? What was it like? I would love to know. I would love to know. And because of the boomers, get this, and because of the boomers, what happened with COVID, if you don't know what happened with COVID, I will educate you. What happened with COVID was they lowered the interest rates. Now, traditionally, what an older person would do, once the family moves out of the big 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom home, 3,000 square foot home perhaps, what they would traditionally do is downsize. Why? Because it's a bunch of empty space. Because you don't need all that room when you're an older couple in your 60s, 70s, or 80s. But what the boomers did was very interesting. Instead of going down the line, the generational line, continuing the generational norm of downsizing, what the boomers did was when the Federal Reserve lowered interest rates in COVID 2020, 2021, the boomers all refinance. So now they have an interest rate on average of anywhere from 1% to 2% if they had the homes and they refinanced in that time. A logical person is not going to buy another home where they could get an interest rate of 7%, 6%, 8%, depending on where you are. And why would you pay all that money? So the boomers essentially said, hey, let's take advantage of that. We're going to keep our home. We're both 90 years old now, and we have 4 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, 3,000 square feet of a home that we only go in like 2 rooms. We haven't seen the other couple rooms in 6 months to a year because we can't walk up the stairs. And so what they're doing is they're keeping all of the homes, the available homes, for themselves. What's that doing? It's driving up the price. In addition to that, people like Breland Hollyhand won't tell you that all of the illegal migrants, the illegal immigrants in this country, they're taking up homes. And who's putting them up? The government. That's who's putting them up. And so, Gen Z, we see this. We understand this. We say, hey, we're not doing better than our parents. What's going on? Is the American dream real? And people are pissed. Relatively so. People are pissed, and they should be pissed. How are we going to be able to start the next families, the next generation of people? When now you have white people in Gen Alpha, for example, that occupy 49% of the generation. 49% of the generation is white. And more you see the migrants that are allowed to live here still are having kids that are anchor babies. Do you understand the problem? When you come from a third world country where rape and murder is normal, and you come here and you have a kid over here that's guaranteed to be an American citizen, and you don't speak English, and you don't have the values that Americans do, white, black, Asian Americans, whatever color you are, if you've assimilated here, you take the values with you, the Christian values. These people don't have that. So I'm watching this interview with Tucker yesterday, and a guy that's running for Texas Congress against Dan Crenshaw, and he's saying the number one thing that these teachers in schools now are really afraid of and unhappy about is violence in the schools. And you think, I wonder why. Maybe, just maybe, it's the people who come from families where the people come here illegally, and maybe it's the people that come from the families that don't share our ideals or our common religion. This is my issue with Vivek. It's like, okay, we're one nation under God. Like that's in our nation's creed. You're a Hindu. You have like 70 gods. Which one? That's what I'm talking about. When he puts out these scheduled tweets and he says, "Oh, we are one nation under God, created by," it's like, which one, Vivek? Is it the blue elephant with tits? Which one is it? I'm confused. Sorry, I'm a little bit confused. I'm not accustomed to your way of life. Tell me what it's like to bathe in shit. I just don't understand. I don't get it. And again, these people that Turning Point is putting out, fine, whatever. But like, nobody is buying it. Nobody is buying it anymore. These people suck. What a way to begin the show. Cheers to you guys, man. But like, you see what I mean? It's like, people have had enough. We're done with the bullshit, with the classic, old school, not even old school, new conservative of the past 20 years that's been created, this Bush era Republican, which is what Breland Holihan and this guy Richard Stroker appear to be. I don't get it. I really don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me. With the